Hey everyone, Chef Anthony here from Don's Appliances. Today I'm going to go over your rotisserie, kind of get you the general setup if you're a first-time rotisserie user or, you're a returning champion. This will kind of help you just get the basics and kind of get your bearings, and it's kind of informative too. So let's learn, let's carry on, and let's get grilling, all right, or rotissing. So first and foremost, let's look at the grill. We want to start when it's nice and cold. So, just turn it on and, or open the lid actually, and just turn the light on. We're going to remove the top rack, because we don't need it. We need that space on the top for the rotis. Check our infrared right here. Just make sure there's no pieces or anything that can kind of burn off, maybe hit our product up. But we're going to preheat it beforehand. All right. Right here, we want to make sure we have our box. This is our motor right here, so it's plugged in. We want to, look at your manual, figure out how it is, but they usually just slide in on the rails like this, make sure that's lined up. And we want to check on the bottom. This is actually really nice and clean, and we're going to use the bottom heat and the ceramic on this. We're just going to use the chicken, but check our tines, make sure everything's kind of tight and ready to roll. And I like to put it in place right where I would put it, just so I know when I get out here, okay? So this is kind of the setup. I want this to sit in here. On this model, these just spin around, that's nice. So I want to make sure that's good, so I'll use that. And then, think about your placement here. We're doing a chicken. We want to keep it kind of in the center, or we want to keep it to the right, depending on what we're cooking. If we're cooking like burgers, or we're making a bunch of stuff too, you can inch this down to where this heat is and use this bottom heat as well, and kind of cheat and still give yourself, in this size, it's a bigger grill, so you still have some little extra space. So think about spacing, think about what you want to do before we turn this on and it's too hot to really move it. So a little bit of mise en place, a little bit of put in place, and a little bit of strategy go into that. So just to make sure, we're going to actually pop our foil pan in here to catch our drippings. You can use a shallow tray too, but I find a foil pan sometimes it's disposable, and the kind of the higher walls help with a little bit of the grease and things like that, especially from chicken, the skin. So this is going to be our setup. This is where we're really going to lie it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit, I'm going to tie this down, twist this and make it lock, so I know this is really where my starting point is, because I want this to all line up. So this is nice and easy. This is super simple. And then let's just turn it on to make sure we have power and it lines up. So that should be good. We're rolling now, nice and quiet. This motor's pretty quiet on this model, so that's good. So we want to make sure everything's good. So we'll shut this down, okay? We'll remove our rod, and we're going to take it inside and put our chicken on it. But the best part is we want to preheat now. So we're going to click our back burner twice here, and then we're going to fire it right up. All right, so the infrared on the back is heating up, and we're going to put one burner right on the bottom. We're going to heat that one up too. Okay, and we're going to close the lid. This is just like we would preheat our oven, folks. So, we're going to really create that temperature. We want to get this cavity nice and hot, because we're going to open it up and put it in and actually lose some heat. So, down. This is going to take probably 15-20 minutes to preheat, just like your normal oven would. So we're going to jump inside and put this chicken on, okay? Okay, we're indoors now. We have our chicken. We just lined it with a little bit of paper towel. All we're going to do is add some rotisserie seasoning to it, a little bit of color. But, I took the edge off, took the left side off, and now we're just going to go skewer it right through and make sure we get all the way through in this one. So, there's that, feel the bar, and put it up here. So let's talk about this. See how it's going to hang like this? We want to make sure we use the thickest part of the tines and really make sure that it hits the breast meat like it's doing on the top here, but more importantly that we get it in the back gripped in. That'll help it to not fall or move that much in flight. So what we're going to do is just going to take it right here, put it on this paper towel, make sure that I get the tops skewered right through the skin and the breast, kind of like right here and here. I wouldn't go any lower than that, or I wouldn't go any higher, because if you pierce it through, you're just going to mess up all the breast meat, all right? So dry that down, move it in, stick it right through. So see how it, these are really sharp. So see how that's there, and that's going to hold it at the bottom as well, okay? So pick that, put it back in our bowl. The only thing that optional that I do is to literally take the wing and bend it back. It's a little bit more aerodynamic, helps it, you know, not crisp up. Sometimes that wing just burns off. So, you know, just give it a quick flip, bust it back. It's nice and easy. So try our hands, and we're gonna do the same thing on, you know, the front part right here. So line our collar up, okay, and then look, see right here, it's right where we want to nail it. So look at that. So see how it's clipped in here? It's really almost overlapping. So really gives this chicken enough hold. So if we can go like this, see how nothing's flying. Okay, so we're locked in right here. We're just gonna make sure, give it a little bit of tie, make sure that's tight, because let's do it now before we get outside, okay? Next, we're gonna put our collar on right here, make sure that this is facing outwards, you know, so we have it right here. Just put that in nice and loose. It's actually gonna be a little bit over here. Great time now to add the rub. So the Rotisserie, we'll put the Rotisserie rub on there. Do it nice and thick, okay? And give it a flip. Season the back. You know, you could have this brined or marinated overnight, things like that. It'll make it nice and easy. But for us, we're really not really focusing on the seasoning, kind of focusing on the technique of the rotisserie. Being that we're doing this for the first time, we're actually going to use a meter probe. We're going to put it right in the thick part right here. Actually, I can put it right here. And we're going to go and just attempt for accuracy and make sure we're right on par. We're going to use that as a little guide. Same as you would in your oven with an internal roast probe to plug it in. So this is the setup. Nice and ready to roll, so we're gonna go right to the grill. Put this guy on. Okay, we're at the grill. It's preheated. It's around 355 degrees, so it's nice and hot. Let's open this up. I got my protective gloves on too. And what we want to do is, you know, you could do this, you know, preheat or not. You know, we're just gonna remove the grates. That little bit is really gonna give us, I'm gonna actually put them down here, is gonna give us that extra clearance we need to kind of make this chicken or whatever we're rotisserie, kind of give it enough surface area. So that's going to go down. All right, we're going to put this right here. Okay, we'll hear the sizzle. We want to pick this up, and the key is we want to rotate it. So I'm rotating with my right hand to make sure we line it right up. Okay, see how it lines right up? Now we want to put our collar all the way over here, just like that. And then we want to tighten it. Okay, tighten that down. Do the same thing, follow suit on this side. You know, make sure this is tight. And now we got our pan lined up right here, ready to go. We have our bottom heat. We have our vertical heat too. So here is our marinade, our extra marinade, and some water, and just a little bit of vinegar. Doesn't matter, you know. We're really going for the concept here. All right. Now this is really the setup we want to look. We're going to get great heat directly at it, but we have heat from the bottom too. So if you're worried about that being a first-time griller, we're actually directly on. You could use a burner on the right or a burner on the left to kind of do the indirect. We might switch to that, might not. But for all intents and purposes, this is the setup we want to use. We're right at great level, okay? And let's turn it on and check our accuracy. We might have to move this pan. It'll move it for us a little bit. That's probably the right area to be in. You know, kind of catch all the grease and the drippings. Oh, that looks great to me. I already hear some sizzling. So this is an ideal setup. This looks great. We're gonna put the lid down on here, let it do its work. It's still gonna take, you know, 12 to 15 minutes per pound. So, you know, think about that. But we are gonna monitor it on our meter, so. Probably take a little time. Enjoy, thank you. All right, everyone, we're back. Our bird's at around 170 degrees, so let's open it up. Really see what the infrared's doing. See how the skin's crispy right there and bubbling. And look at our water pan right there. If you see that water bubbling up too, that's really a good indication that we got the perfect amount of heat. So safety first, we're gonna actually shut all of our burners down. Pop them in here, okay? And shut our rotisserie off, okay? So now it's nice and easy. What we want to do now is you want to grab the oven safe gloves or, you know, some towels, whatever you want to do, and really just release that off, kind of push it off out of the motor. Okay, you don't have to really even pull it off now, but, you know, out of the motor so we know it's locked, and then this unplug immediately. I always, you know, I'm a stickler about that. And then, you know, just rotate it. We can actually kind of see free range what goes on, but it looks great. Look at that. Really heat coming out of this. And best bet now is to really take it inside, you know, let it rest probably 15 to 20 minutes and carve it up. But for all intents and purposes, once this all cools, then you could soak it and then scrub it and get it clean. It can be dishwasher safe as well, so you can actually pop these in the dishwasher, but probably not the rod. The rod's enormous and too big, so that would be a hand washed item. Other than that, let it cool till it's safe. Enjoy your rotisserie cooking. Hope this helps you out, give you the initial setup and get you the learning and knowledge you need to set up an amazing rotisserie and kind of enjoy it and have some fun with it. Thank you and enjoy.